this mind thought it would spend a few minutes analyzing its contents. So it's the mind and the contents, you see. Um, I appear to be, I appear to be like the parrot now. You see so many videos about fluctuating from different, what we call, the mind calls different subjects, but it's always the same subject. It's always I. It's always the subject of consciousness and life. I being you see. Now, mind talking. What does mind know about itself? Well, mind knows that it's not separate. Pure mind, original mind. We're talking our basic mind. Mind knows that it's not separate from the body. It's absolutely not separate from the body, you see. And the body is not separate from this natural mind. Even through an awakening, through a hypnotizing or dehypnotism from yourself, as in a Ramana Maharshi way, nati nati, not this, not this, not this. The mind and the body, the natural mind and the body cannot be separated. You see, God's not that cynical, you see. We can call God life. Life is not that cynical, you see. It doesn't make a body without a mind, because, you know, can you imagine God in his television screen saying, you know, I made all these bodies, right? I'm not going to give them any mind, okay? But I'm going to put them on this planet, you see, and we appear on this planet and we start walking into fire, you see, walking over the cliff edges, and God's going, oh, that's so funny, so funny, you know. Well, let's take bets and see how long they last, you know. Yeah. Walk into the ocean, you know. Yeah. Eat rocks. Because the mind and the body are connected with the emotions and the senses. And the senses tell you when you're in danger. Even a child knows when it's in danger. Even though it's lying on its, at the bedside as Moses of a lion comes up, the child looks and thinks, oh my God, I'm not in a good place right now. Through the sounds of the lion, through the teeth, through all the things, even the child has some sort of subtle knowing about it's in danger. The natural human senses and emotions. So, let's talk from the ego now. You see, the ego is a self-developed mind. Now, no one really knows where ego arose from. But it is a systematic process. It is a systematic way of wanting to know and understand what's going on in life. It is that nosiness, I'm interested, you know. I'm interested in what's going on, you see. And when I'm interested in what's going on, I have to enhance what's going on. So I have to use words and stories and noises and sounds and images to portray that what I have discovered, you see. Now the ego is what we live by. Unfortunately, in this world today, we live by ego, you see. What I know, who I am, you know, what I have created, what I can do, what I have been successful in, what I have failed in, who is rich, who is poor, who God is or isn't, what religion is, what spirituality is, what kind of domain, what culture I'm in. All this is man-made creative ego ideas that have been born from thoughts. And the initial thought is, I exist, I am. But the thought that arises from that is, I am this, and you are that. And this and that appear to be different. So this and that must make our own differences and live our own life in our own differences. And ego seems to be okay at that point, you know. I know where my boundaries are. I know where your boundaries are, and let's live peacefully. You over there and me over here. Ah. And then that reptilian brain comes in. He has more food than me. Why? How can I get the same amount of food? I'll ask him, how do you get that food? Try this. Okay, friends, okay, yeah. You try it. The type of food he's growing is not able to grow in the soils that you have in your farm, or his, in comparison to his farm. So they don't work. So you think he's fooling you. You think he's putting you on a wild goose chase. And you say, you know what, I'm just going to take his food. Yeah. And then that's conflict, division. And then we have to put boundaries not around our personal need to survive. No, it's a personal need to take and gain and attain and know, and we have to keep these things from us. Now, this is what we call reptilian human ongoingness. And this has been going on for centuries. And unfortunately, it still goes on. But it is what it is, you see. The human mind creates it. It wants it, it needs it, it desires it. It thinks more intelligent thoughts to try and supersede that one. We have wars right now. They're always thinking 20 years in advance how we can build a better bomb to counteract the bomb that they will be hopefully building, and vice versa. And that's how it is, you see. But in today's world, we have a need to break down these boundaries, you see. The mind has a need to break down its boundaries. And we call this evolution, we call this wisdom. We've now seen our errors of our ways, our badness and what we have done to each other through wars and through greed and superiority and power and dictatorship and, division. Now we need to put it all to the side, break it down and reconnect. Back to that original God. Look, I gave them senses of emotions. Look at them, they're all walking about happy, dancing. They're not walking over the end of cliffs. I've given them a mind. I've given them something that they can feel grateful about. And that's why your idea that God will help. God won't help because you've taken his or its gift of being free, of being, simply being, into wanting and needing and dictating and thinking that there's no God, so we have to be the ultimate force on the planet. And in this ultimate force, we have to make sure that my castle is bigger than their castle. And that's how it is, you see. Now, in the need for all the wonderful people, we're all wonderful human beings. Most are lost in their mind, you see. The conceptual thinking mind that U.G. Krishnamurti says, the thoughts are born from some sort of need and desire, an idea and concept to either return to that original mind or to say, shit with that Popsy guy, he's speaking nonsense, let's just bomb and win over and fight and get what's rightfully ours. Both are thoughts. Both sides are thoughts. Even this is thoughts. Even this is a thought-based uttering. So each one then develops. The beauty of ego is, well, I can't save the world. This I cannot save the world. This I cannot change the world. This I cannot convince any other human being, rightfully so. No one should be able to convince another human being how to live their life. So therefore, I have to take ownership in my own life. So therefore, I must look at myself, my own mind. I must look at what it is born from. Where do these thoughts arise from? Are they my thoughts? Are they universal thoughts? Am I able to actually analyze and measure these thoughts without having to depend on other minds, other religions, other books, other methods, other practices, others' confirmations? Can I actually just look at me? Can my mind look at itself, you see, and be honest with itself, and be genuine with itself, and be original with itself? Can I just be me? Well, that's that's the biggest thought, and that's the most fearful thought. Can I remove and return to that original mindset where I'm just being? But do I want it, you see? What will I have to give up? What will I have to sacrifice? How will I have to change my life? How will it work with the relationship with my partners and my family? How will they accept me? How will my job, but will I keep my job? All these are valid points, you see. Valid points. You can't say a teacher's going to say, yeah, just remove them all, remove them all. Yeah. Naughty. But they're all thoughts. They all appear real. Not the relationship with your partner, but the thought of losing the relationship with your partner is a thought. The thought of even having a relationship with your partner is your thought. Your partner may be having another thought about the relationship that you're having. Your thought can be, everything's okay. Your partner's thought could be, I'm not very happy at this moment. He or she doesn't give me the attention that I need. You see, so there are crossed thoughts. So the only way you can do it is look at your own mind, look at your own thoughts, without participating with the outside world. And this is what Ramana Maharshi is talking about. He's not talking about ignoring life and ignoring the whole world and going up a hill and doing these things. He's becoming ignorant of what he thinks, because his thoughts are like anyone else's thoughts. Am I a person? So rather than ask the world or ask your ego mind, am I a person? Because the ego mind is going to say, of course you're a person, you've always been a goddamn person. Now forget that shit and move on. So ask yourself, am I a person? Look in the mirror. Who am I if I'm not a person? Where does thoughts arise from? All the speakers that come onto YouTube that are looking at self-inquiry or self-realization are saying, is there a space between the thoughts? Who examines the space between the in-breath and the out-breath? Who examines when the light switch is neither on nor off? Because there's a moment when the light is on and the switch, you press the switch, it goes to off. There's a moment where it's neither on nor off. Who examines the fingers in the Sistine Chapel of God and Adam or whatever it is, and the space between the fingers? Who examines the longing that they know that they're not allowing is quite a strong word, they're not giving in to the true me. I don't want to go to work. Why? You don't say, well, don't go to work. You're not going to ask the outside world, can I get your permission for me not to go to my work? Because they'll say no. The government will say, the wife will say no, the partner will say no, the children will say no, the council will say no, everything's going to be taken away with you, right? So who is it that doesn't want to go to work? Is it the body? and that pure original mind? Is it frightened because you're working near a cliff edge? Or you're working near a furnace? Or you're working high in the mountains, in the towers of the buildings of Dubai, and there's no safety gear? Who is it? Is it the mind? No, they're not the original mind. It has no say. It just cares for the body. Is it the body? The body completely has no say without the original mind caring for it. It's the ego. Because the ego has made up some sort of story and narrative about what the workplace is, about the wages, about the non-allocated freedom of working in your own time scale. You have to come in between 8 and 4. Rather than argue about the system of the employment, why? Why am I arguing about this? Who is arguing about it? Because you're not even listening with your pure mind. You're listening with your ego mind. You're always listening with your ego mind. And your ego mind cannot make assumptions or decisions or clarities about anything outside of itself. So it has that domain, it has that configuration, it has that, it's a volume of words and languages and thoughts and concepts and experiences and actions and needs and desires and attachments and beliefs and hopes and associations. These are all man-made concepts. These are all creations. I don't know what else to say about mind, you see, because this mind is struggling to actually understand the concepts, the ideas, the thoughts, the associations, the attachments. It's not totally free, but it's truly only worried about walking to the edge of a cliff, and if a fire is confronted by a fire, or anyone else is walking to the edge of a cliff or confronted by a fire, because I will shout and say, don't do that. And anything else is out of my hands, you see. It's not in the hands of the pure mind and the body, it's in the hands of that ego. Find out who you are, what you're thinking, where the thoughts arise from. Go deeper, ask within, find the true longing. What am I here for? Is there a purpose? Is there a me? Is there a method? Why does Christ point to me? Christ's words point to me. Through me, I am the way. Have a good day.